Prepare to unleash the inner guitar god trapped in your soul. This is Shred, and today we dive into the dark and mysterious world of neoclassical metal. Using the scale of fate will make our strings bleed with passion. But that's not all. The sweeps of sorrow, Beethoven's Moonlight sonata, and Mozart's secret chord that breaks all the rules is coming your way. Now grab your axe because it's time to rewrite your musical destiny. Sacrifice your soul to me at my Patreon page below. That's where you get all of my tabs, courses, Discord access, and even live classes. It just costs your soul. Let's begin our musical journey by listening to Beethoven's Moonlight sonata. Now here's the Moonlight sonata, and it begins here in the key of C sharp minor, right? One of the saddest keys. And there's a particular chord in this Moonlight sonata adds a crushing emotional weight, and that's going to be the main topic of this video. We're going to be studying what's called the Neapolitan chord. So we begin on that C sharp minor here in the first bar with this arpeggio. Oops, there we go. And then the bass line descends just down the C sharp minor scale here to B. And then moving on, we hit an A major. Now the emotion is shifting. Beethoven's making a statement, and he's setting us up for the Neapolitan chord right here, which is built on the flat second scale degree. And here it is. A D major over F sharp, just a brilliant, bright exclamation point with a haunting mysticism. I'm going to break this down actually in a second, but first, to dismount from this chord, the most common thing you'll hear is to go to the 5. So in the key of C sharp minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th degree is G sharp, and we have this beautiful Bach suspension and resolution sequence where we're playing a dominant 7th chord here, and then that jumps into a C sharp minor over G sharp, which is beautiful, and then the sus, and then the resolution. Now, what is this magically haunting Neapolitan chord? In order to answer that question, we need to lay some groundwork and learn about the scale of fate. Now, the scale of fate begins on the note D. We're going to be using the key of D minor here. And I want to take you through each sacred interval. So we have the root, then we have the 2nd degree E, and once we get to the 3rd degree, whoops, hold on, that's not it, there it is, we have a minor tonality sketched out. So we're clearly in the key of D minor once we hit that minor 3rd interval. That's a defining pitch. Then we're going to move up to the stability of that 4th degree, G. We're going to hit the 5th, the great unifier, and then the chilling flat 6, or B flat. I love that note. Then we come up to the raised 7th degree, and actually, let's do it like this, make it a C sharp. This pitch is very, very important in neoclassical metal. Yngwie Malmsteen uses it all the time. It creates a tremendous amount of drama and tension in classical music. And that pitch pulls us up, pulls us up back to the 1, D. Okay, so the scale of fate over that drone in the backing track, let each interval and the emotional quality sink into your soul. Now, we're getting to the Neapolitan, but first, we need to discuss the Chords of Destiny. Now the Chords of Destiny sound like this. They have tremendous weight and gravitas, and they tell a story about your past, a story about your experience. So the first chord is D minor, and here it is, the root, the fifth, and the third. Root, fifth, third. Now we're going to move to a G minor, which is the 4 chord. All right. Oh man, I love that sound. G minor over D, and then we're going to come back to home base here, which is the 1 chord. From there, we're going to go to the 5, which has that raised 6th scale degree. This is absolutely gorgeous. And we're gonna make that a C sharp here. There, that's better. Okay, so I've finished labeling these, and we've got the Chords of Destiny. Now it's time to approach the sacred Neapolitan chord. And in the key of D minor, this chord is used to basically inject a point of dramatic tension. Imagine a brand new character being introduced, the villain perhaps, in a film, right? Dun dun dun. That could be the Neapolitan chord's entrance. So if you're in the key of D minor, the Neapolitan chord is in E flat. It's built off the flat 2nd scale degree, and it's usually in first inversion. That's what we call it, the Neapolitan 6. The 6 is the first inversion part. So if we had a cadence put together, it might sound like this. The 1, the 4, the Neapolitan, resolve to the 5, and you're back to the 1. So let's have a look at the tab. Now here it is, the degree of the scale, right, where the Neapolitan chord is built on that flat 2nd degree. So if we're in D minor, E flat is where you build it. And E flat is spelled E flat. Duh. And then we've got G, and B flat is the 5th. So that flat 2nd scale degree, that's the money note. That's where this chord comes from. Now let's take a look at another example of this chord that breaks all the rules from Mozart's saddest piece, Lacrimosa. Here it comes, you ready? That gives me chills every time I hear it. How appropriate for a requiem. Mozart is writing essentially about his own death. He died at 35, penniless. What a tragedy. And a Neapolitan chord is the perfect harmony to describe this tragedy. Now, in the next segment, I want to show you how you can incorporate the Neapolitan chord into your licks with the sweeps of sorrow. Now, the sweeps of sorrow outline a classical chord progression in the key of D minor. So we begin with this D minor chord using the C form of the cage system. And I'm going down, 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 up, and then pulling off. Then we're going to move to an E form of the cage system, but still a D minor chord. It's actually a D minor 9 with that 9th degree E. You can practice each shape individually. Then we're going to move to a G minor chord, the 4. I'm basically just taking the cadence I played earlier and outlining that. Same pick attack here, or picking articulations. Then I added some open strings. Next, we're going to move to the Neapolitan chord itself, E flat over G, which has a very Lydian kind of sound. Then another shape of that. And then we have the 5 chord, the dismount or the resolution A. Beautiful, right? And that little finishing lick, and it all ends back on the D minor. I want to share 3 tips to unlock the guitar god trapped in your soul. And step 1 is obsession. Don't wait for permission from the world to start creating. The truth is, no one's first attempts are perfect and polished, right? Great art breaks the rules and it explores your darkest desires. Number 2 is dealing with self-doubt. We all have a voice inside our head telling us we're not good enough. You're too old, you're too late, you're not talented. Comparing yourself to others robs you of your original genius. Delete negative thoughts and summon a bold new era of empowerment. Now, point number 3 to unlock the guitar god trapped in your soul is learn how to play. Play is how we unlock our natural genius. Reject the rules and grant yourself the freedom to explore. Allow your fingers to dance across the fretboard with passionate fire. The guitar god inside you is awakened when you stop playing correctly and start playing fearlessly. Get the full tabs for this lesson at my Patreon page below. If you're in my Modern Guitar Mastery class, your homework is to write an original piece of music 30 seconds long using the Neapolitan chord. Until next time, shred till you're dead.